They're broken down and defeated, deterred, busy and confused, sleeping. You're dying while I wait you to get started on the journey chosen, wasted, no one selected. I was so bad, what happened? Fall out of the sky and crush me in my smile. I was so bad, what happened? Fall out of the sky and crush me in my smile. Sober, sad and jaded. They're not coming, they're broken down and defeated. You are dying while I wait you to get started. You are dying while I wait you to get started. I was so bad, what happened? Fall out of the sky, yeah. Crush me in my smile. I was so bad, what happened? Fall out of the sky and crush me in my smile.
I'm a motherfucking unicorn, a one-of-one. The vibe being the love and light, then light and one. My karma isn't just stellar, I live by truth. Fighting evil, my scars are living proof. Protecting you from the storms with all my might. Love me, I will treat you right. You ever cross me, it's the last thing you'll ever do. With my crown of thorns, I'll wreck you. I ain't playing, yo, Bryan hard, call me a saint. Too bad, Chris, because Bigfoot knows my name. I'm a messenger of God, with loyalty I serve, taking out all evil with his holy word. A true Knights Templar, sword in hand, slice you up, bury you in the sand. I'm a motherfucking unicorn, you'll never find anyone like me. Born in the Bronx, raised in NYC, so listen up, take heed. I float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. A true Knights Templar, sword in hand, slice you up, bury you in the sand. I'm a motherfucking unicorn, you'll never find anyone like me. Born in the Bronx, raised in NYC, so listen up, take heed. I float like a butterfly, sting like a bee.
Crossing Realms Conference is coming this September 19th and 20th to the Eagleton Civic Center in Richmond, Missouri. Tickets to this landmark event are on sale right now at Eventbrite. The powerful speaker lineup will cover topics from Bigfoot, UFOs, and aliens, so you will not want to miss attending this amazing two-day inaugural event. Again, that's the Crossing Realms Conference, this September 19th and 20th at the Eagleton Civic Center in Richmond, Missouri. Please mark your calendar and get your tickets before they vanish. Space is limited.
Holy Michael the Archangel, defend us in battle. Be our protection against the wickedness and snares of the devil. May God rebuke him, we humbly pray. And do thou, O Prince of the heavenly hosts, by the power of God, thrust into hell Satan and all the other evil spirits who prowl through the world, seeking the ruin of souls. Amen and amen.
And amen. Welcome to Third Eye Live, where we ask you to open your eye and open your mind. And I'm going to bring in my co-host because I'm really happy that Mark Eddy is here and he is alive because Mark had an issue Thursday. I thought he was being Mark Eddy and joking like I joke, but no. Mark had some heart-related issues. And are you doing well now, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So he's joined the Stent Club. You'll get your membership card in a couple of weeks. Yeah. And then you get your complimentary double plateau of pills. You know, that's how you know you're getting up there and whatever, but you're alive, you're good. Live life to the fullest. And Mark Eddy Productions has gotten us this wonderful guest tonight.
Yeah, doing a show is far less stressful than other stuff.
Yeah, it's tremendously less stressful. Yeah, it's crazy. I'm gonna go and just do a little hellos to some of the people coming in. It's been a stressful last couple of weeks. My oldest went to college. She's bugging out. She's just like, it may not be for me. And I'm like, you just gotta give it some time, because everybody that went to college, I'd trade places with her in a heartbeat. But John Straw Dog's here, Crypto, Sunshine. We've got Mark Eddy. We've got Supernatural Survivor with Max. And that's our guest right there. Kitty Cat Whack is here. Always there. You were the first to put a comment in, and I appreciate that so much. BNO from Oz, welcome. Yep. There we go. There's Jen. Paranormal Newfoundland podcast and Boots on the Ground team. Thank you for being here at a Paranormal. You're going to want this lovely, wonderful man as a guest. Tennessee, Kentucky Bigfoot. Welcome. And let's see who else. We got Harlan's here. Happy birthday to the puppy. I think the puppy's birthday.
Keegan's here.
Keegan's here from Culls. And I believe, if I'm correct, I believe our guest was just on that. So, but we'll get to that. Let's. How about you introduce our guest so everybody? And we got a new one, energy shifter. Oh, I could use some energy being shifted at this point, but I'm gonna leave it and I'll start to respond. Back to everybody. And Kelly Sanford, welcome and hello to you. So Mark, please introduce our wonderful guest, because he is an award-winning author.
Max Hawthorne is also known as the Prince of Paleo-Fiction. He has the Kronos Rising series. You'll probably in the second hour or so, we'll see his influences from Steven Spielberg. We have some other surprise connections.
And I mean,
that we're going to get into with his. Besides, great novels. You got another research. This is really terrific book.
Yes.
monsters and marine mysteries. So we're going to be looking at a lot of the shows we've done are the terrestrial cryptids, Bigfoot, walking through the woods. Max is dealing with a lot of marine cryptids, and uh, we're going to get into his work with museums in England. So this is going to be a really neat show. Max is just a great guy, um,
And he's a New
terrific
York City guy
researcher.
too.
He's a world record holder of some kind of fish. We'll have to.
Well, let's bring Max in. We'll
Yeah.
ask Max these. And there's no sleep to where he's from, Brooklyn. Max, welcome to Third Eye Live. And it's a pleasure to have you here. I'm going to see if we can switch you to this one, and then we get you on the bigger screen. And now you're the big one. But I do appreciate you coming in. Yeah, I see your treasures behind you. Yeah.
Oh gosh. Yeah, when you have a hobby like fishing, it's nice to have a few mementos and stuff. I like the sign up there, warning, unruly children will be used as bait. And everything. It was great when my nephews were little,
Yeah, just touching them. Yeah.
They just, like rowdy. I'm like, you see that fish up top? So,
yeah.
But yeah, it's good stuff. But thank you for having me.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Mark showed me, and we're going to be discussing this because I think it's very interesting. You had a visitation at your home at night, and we're going to be discussing the visitation at home, at Max's home, in a moment. But I have to tell you, when I started doing shows, I did a show called Beyond the Realm. And I wanted it to be like a morning drive time, fun. I had our psychic for our group, and we wanted that male-female perspective, tell a couple of jokes, make people happy, and then, get serious if we need to. So I had to bring my buddy in. And while I was doing that, I met a gentleman named Ron Murphy, the crypto guru. He is an author as well. He has a whole On series. And our first guest, when we had Steve Alton as the first guest, who is the author of Meg. And you are the author of Kronos. And there's a lot of comparison between, and it's a great thing to be compared to, between Peter Benchley, who did Jaws, and you're in that class, and Steve Alton, who did Meg. And we all know, I never thought I'd ever say this in my lifetime growing up, the book was so much better than what they did in the movie. And now we have yours, Kronos, which is off the chart. It looks fantastic. And I'm trying to go and meet him so I like autograph copies. It's just like a stupid thing I have, when you go out and you meet people, you just want, keep reaching for the stars, Casey Kasem type of stuff. But I think it's a pretty good company to be in, and the accolades that you're winning right now just proves like what a tremendous author you are.
Well, thank you. I've been doing it for a little while. I think I have, like 11 books out right now, something to that effect. You lose track after a while, but it's a very rewarding type of career. Allows you to work from home, which is something. Allowed me to be there when my daughter was younger, when she'd be off from school, and pick her up and take her to school and everything else like that, and do the, your daughter forgot her bass for band, and, just jump in the truck and run over and all that stuff. So a lot of research. I got to do a lot of paleontology work, solve the mystery of plesiosaur locomotion, how the Nessie type marine reptiles swim, and so much other stuff. So no complaints.
Yeah. I mean, I do certain things from home. We started a branding company. So we do branding, we do, all the hat shirts and whatever. And then I do a lot of paranormal based stuff. It's nice to be recognized. I am in the process. I've written a book called Words and Muses. It's available on Amazon. Basically my poetry and my music, because I know you're a singer-songwriter too. And I happen to, growing up, I was, one of my inspirations is Paul McCartney. That's where I wanted to learn how. I loved his music and how he did what he did. And I'm kind of writing a lot of those, not like silly love songs, but there's a lot of love and relationship involved in my music. And growing up, I've been in several bands. I've been in a metal band, I've been in a new age band, country, blues, and when we used to play, you probably remember Kenny's Castaways in the city, New York City. We would play. It's in the Village, and we'd play there, and I'd get nervous, so we would drink, and it takes away some of the inhibition to get up there and not freak out. And one night I didn't have anything, and we went up there, and every song of mine that I sang and we performed, everybody was singing back to me. So it's like you're now floating home. I'm floating back to the Bronx, and it's a great feeling. So it must be great when you get all these accolades and people are interviewing you. I mean, I know how hard it is. You do tremendous amount of research for your work, which is you go above and beyond. And yes, it is convenient to be there, especially with kids growing up. But does it give you a little bit of a yes? And was there anybody in your life growing up that kind of like you won't amount to anything in the New York, the school system, like you were playing around in school and you got to take it serious? Any of those
I
moments
don't
ever happened?
understand. I'm
Well,
not
I
sure.
was just, like sometimes I know a couple of my friends that have really made it, and they were always, they did the work, but the teacher was like, you're never going to amount to anything. You're not going to do whatever. And a lot of that gets on you in the school system, especially in New York
Right.
City. Well, at least in my end of it. So it can bring you down. But
Yeah, but
when,
what kind of teacher would say that to a kid?
unfortunately, that's the problem. There
I mean,
are
that's
teachers that were like that growing up.
that.
But there's like an FU type of moment where you've made it and they're doing like their music is now being played everywhere. I'm not mentioning names, but
Mhm,
they've worked with all these big popular people right now,
mhm.
that are current, and they've made it. And I remember we're like, how do you feel that it's on? You're up in the top 10. He goes, that teacher could suck it.
And that's right. That's exactly right. I don't know. I mean, I used to have one teacher in high school, and he had bit of an English accent, and sometimes he would get kids in the class. I mean, gosh, we were like freshmen or
Right.
sophomores at most, and kids, and he'd look at one of them who had said or done something so inane, and he would say, "Mr. So and so, you have a brilliant career ahead of you as a piano mover." This type of thing. And I went to the top high school in Philly, one of the top in the country, mind you. So
Right.
just to say that, but
Wow.
I did have a great experience though that I'd like to share with everybody before we start talking about
Sure.
the video
Please.
or the books or anything like that. It wasn't something I expected. I don't think anybody expects that, but I was on vacation for like 3.5 weeks in the Philippines through late June into a good chunk of July, and went to a lot of different places there, from Manila and other locations. We were staying at this like a houseboat off of this gorgeous series of volcanic islands,
Right.
rainforests, and all that. And so I was lying there. The houseboat was very, very large. It was literally a house, a big house, huge house, like a mansion floating on a boat. Okay,
Oh,
and
cool.
anchored, so it wouldn't damage the bottom. Beautiful sunsets and sunrises, and just peace and paradise, and sea turtles swimming by, and you're kayaking and swimming with them and all this stuff. And at one point, I'm lying there back on a sun lounge, we'll call it, and I have my polarized sunglasses on, my Costa del Mars, if that matters, but I don't have them here. But
Yeah.
anyway, like fishing glasses.
Yep.
And I'm staring up at all the clouds. And as I'm looking, I see the first time I've seen it, something like this, no denying it, actually see a flying saucer. And I'm talking
Oh,
about a
wow.
UFO that was a complete circle, a disc shaped craft, and not small. It was all the way up in the clouds, and it was moving like a colossus through the cloud banks. And I'm staring at it. And you could say, oh, that was the shape or this and that. It looked like a circle. No, you
Yep.
could see 3/4 of this craft. it was like all of this and then some clouds here and a little bit more here. You could, and then some clouds here. Like you were seeing like 75% of it. It was the same color as the clouds, camouflaged, identical patterning and everything.
Right.
And as it's moving through them, though, you could see it pushing through them a little bit slowly, no sound like that. It looked just like a giant flying disc that was cloud covered, colored to match and everything. And it was enormous. I mean, it could have been, I'd have to crunch numbers based on the cloud cover that day and see
Right.
how high up it was, and I could get a general idea. It could have been 5,000 feet across. I mean,
Wow.
an aircraft carrier would have looked like a rubber ducky next to this thing. And it just went like right over there. And I was like, holy, and I'm staring at it. It took a few seconds to sink in. You know, you're staring at this thing and you're like, what am I looking at here? Why is there a giant circle moving through the clouds? And then I was like, whoa. And I jumped up. And of course, my piece of crap phone, because I had been sick from, well, eating the wrong things in the Philippines, you know, for the last couple of days. Yeah. And I grab it. I'm like, dead. I'm like, oh, and then I'm like rushing through the houseboat trying to find the wife and get her phone. And she's like, what do you need my phone for? I'm like, give me the phone. So like, and I get out there. And at this
Yeah.
point, it had, I don't think they knew I was like looking to take a picture, but who knows what, you know, but they had moved up and then we're like slowly shifting it. So it was deliberately moving very slow, I think, to keep its, you know, from being noticed, let's say, or something like that. But it went up, 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 and then it sort of closed around it. And then I got a couple of quick shots, but you could only see a little piece and a piece or something like that. But you know, when I go through them and enhance a bit, I'll see if it comes through better. You know, but I mean,
No,
I saw it, and they're real. There's no denying it. And this thing was gigantic,
it's
gigantic.
story of most people's lives. Like, why didn't you take a picture? Well, you're so in awe of seeing something that it takes a second to register. And then in your case, your phone was like dead, which that's happened numerous times too. I mean, I've you start using different apps and whatever, wherever you are, especially you were out. It's the reception. It's always trying to ping. And if you don't have the greatest in the Philippines, which I'm sure they don't have the greatest,
Hmm.
it's going to expend more energy. So it makes it a little bit different. But going to the missus and saying, give me your phone. It's always, what do you need it for? I'm like, what are you hiding? Give me your phone, you know? And you get what you get, but
Yeah, but
cool.
it was something to see. I mean, I was looking at them like this is just like in my novels, like the Kronos Rising Kraken books. There's like submarines there, and these submarines have this type of technology, like chromatophores, iridophores that are built in to the skin of the sub, so that
Right.
they can appear as anything they want. And this saucer had that exact type of technology. It just matched the colors of the clouds and the texture and everything like that. The only thing that gave it away was the clouds were separating here and there, and you saw the circle
It's giant
moving
mass.
along. Yeah. Right. I mean, right overhead. And
Right.
I was joking with my friend. I was like, I bet you this guy's looking for an autographed copy of one of the books, you know, or something like that. You know, they beam down.
We're your biggest fans here.
Yeah.
Um,
Four and
Give
a
us
half
a
feet tall.
sample and sign the book. That could be it. Most people don't realize UFOs have been, how come we don't see any of them with all the technology? I'm like, they've been hiding since the beginning. Most of it's in plain sight. And like you said, with the clouds, they usually hide above them. But once they start separating, they don't use the same quality, you know, effects. So you're going to see this giant circle and you're like, what's that? But that's cool. That is amazingly
Thank you.
great. Mark,
Yeah.
Mr. Eddy, you're sitting there with a large fish behind you, I believe.
Yeah.
Um,
Barbara pretty much banned me from using it on her show. But I really can't take it off my settings.
right.
So being a smartass with the tech guy when we were getting set up with StreamYard kind of backfired. But I thought the fossilized fish skull from the Orden Museum in on the Ohio State campus.
Uh-huh.
It was found in the Cleveland area, and I thought it would actually be appropriate to have as my background with Max on tonight.
That's great.
It's an amazing fish. Some estimates put them if they're up to 30 feet in length, and their
Yeah.
jaw power, their biting, their bite force must have been astonishing. There's actually a
Oh,
modern
yeah.
fish called a wolffish, which of course is a tiny fraction of that size. I used to keep one as a pet. I was a kid. His name was a wolffish, mind you. His name was Wolfie. All right.
Go figure.
Yeah, Wolfie. We also had a snapping turtle named Snooper. Snooper the snapper, Wolfie the
Right.
wolffish. This was a little kid thing, but and their jaws were similar to that, like a placoderms, where the teeth seem to be blade edges of the skull that project out and interlock. And it never dawned on me until many years later that, I don't know if there'd be any relation, but the similarity was definitely there. So,
Well, one of the things I love about what you do, and again, this goes into the research, but this is part of your hobby.
mhm.
I mean, you're a fisherman.
It's a lifestyle too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, and it's not only the sport of catching and reeling in and getting your prize, whatever it is, but
Mhm.
you have studied a variety of species of fish or types of fish
Mhm.
for I guess a large portion of your life, and that translates perfectly into using that scientific knowledge in describing a lot of the research you do. One of which is this big shape-shifting cat
Mhm.
that we had, and this is where Mark introduced me to what you've been doing. He goes, "You got to check out his latest video." So I'm
Mhm.
just going to add it to the stage so people can see. So on Max's YouTube, he has the phantom cat revealed. Is it a shapeshifter? And can you give a little bit of background on why a shapeshifter and why not some kind of large cat?
Sure.
Or
I'm gonna actually post a link here. I tried to post it already before, but it bounced back like it wouldn't go through.
just
So,
send it in private and then I'll do it.
okay.
Yeah, because I usually give. Is this this is the link to your YouTube watch?
No, this is the actual video that you want people to look at. So this way people can like browse through it while we're talking over the next,
Sure,
hour and a half. And this way they can actually ask questions themselves.
sure.
It makes a lot more sense because most people haven't seen the video yet.
I'm gonna share it right now in chat. I'm gonna copy the link, and I'm going to put it in chat myself because
Cool.
I'm allowed to shape
Shapeshift.
video. Let's see. Now I'm adding it. It better go. There it is. It's in chat. So everybody just take a look. You can have it running in the background and then we can discuss what your take of it is. It's 24 minutes. It's not that long a video. And if you want to talk about how deep Max gets with this, he really, really gets deep. And we're going
You
to do
have
some of it now.
And he
you have
narrates.
to because I'm sorry, Mark. Go ahead.
Well, I'm just saying, you're also the narrator with your distinctive Orson Welles-esque voice.
Yeah.
With a slight Brooklyn accent.
Yeah. You kind of can hear it. Yeah.
I'll
get
tell you one thing, for example, if you look at the on the screen you've got there, that is a thumbnail. An AI generated like werewolf or something like that.
Yep.
And on the right, though, is a very similar pose that the animal was making when the video stopped. When it stopped filming. And if you look, you sort of see that same sort of crouched down type of pose, that large kind of lion or bear-like head in the center. You can see where the nose is, the eyes are. I think I sent you one where the eyes were dotted in red for the infrared
Yeah.
one.
You want to pop that one up?
Yeah, if you could show people so this way they can get a better idea. Because sometimes people are like, okay, what am I looking at here?
No, that's not that
No,
one.
that's
Sorry.
not it. No, it's okay. Nope.
And that's, let me see if it's the second one. There we go.
Nope. I think there's another one. That one's to compare
Hold
the
on.
size of the heads.
I've got 2 more left. Oh, you here.
Oh,
Nope.
no. I guess I didn't send it to you then. I sent it to somebody else. I'm sorry. Okay, so
No,
then I
not a
guess
problem.
let's go back to the one with the 2 cats then. Okay. So, and I'm going
The
to
original,
enlarge.
this one?
No,
Or
well, that's fine. I think people can see that.
Yes.
That one right there. And I'm going to see if I
Sure.
can make this bigger here, since I'm really not going to be doing the script. I mean, the chat for the most part. Okay. So this shows you, these are 2 shots, near the very beginning of the video and near the very end. Okay. So they've been sandwiched together. If you look in the center, you can see a dead center line where they were just put side by side. Okay.
Right.
You can see the little bit of differentiation there, shading, whatever the case may be. So the background, what happened here, when you're watching the video, you'll see that this was actually outside my house, as opposed to, like, let's say that other video that Mark was talking about with the, likely reptilian.
Right.
But, and so what would happen here is I would always get a lot of video footage of animals on the security camera that were walking down the stairs, exploring, hunting, whatever they might be doing. And I've seen a lot. There's been gorgeous foxes, some dark, some light, a possum, the always present or omnipresent raccoons, of course, different types of feral cats, you name it, it's been there. Okay.
What about the 2-legged cougars?
2-legged
That's Florida,
ones?
Mark. Florida.
I mean, like that story, like I told when that guy was harassing me on, and I would tend to be a child home, and my dad was at some, what was it called? The raunchy Rio Rodeo or something like that. It was like a strip club for older women that were cougars and all this stuff. I don't want to get into the whole thing here, but the guy was like, "What?" And I said, "I have no food. I'm eating crayons. They're horrible. I pretend the brown one is chocolate, but all this stuff." But anyway, it's a long story. So what happened is I would see all these things, and I would sometimes have like the thing on the camera, like a window open, and you would be able to have live feed, and you would see what's going on there. And there's a particular one, there was like rustling in the weeds, like there are plants out there, and I jumped up and I hit like the capture thing. I went and looked at there, but what I saw in the dark barely was this dark cat. And when you see the video unenhanced there, meaning not brightened,
Right.
you see just what looks like a dark cat walking along across the screen. It moves like a large cat, like a big house cat or a small mountain lion. Estimated size was maybe about 70 or 80 pounds, which is very big for a house cat. It's impossible. But and I didn't really pay it a lot of mind. Although now, if I look close, even with it darker, you can see all the crazy stuff if you zoom in going on with the cat itself, as
Yep.
everybody will see as they're watching the video themselves in their privacy of their own home or whatnot.
Right.
So what happens is, though, the cat walks across. First, it peeks out from. I can't use your. Are you able to use your cursor?
It peeks out. Yeah, it does. It peeks out from the right side of the screen initially. Let me see if I can. You know what we can do? Let me see if I can throw the video up and just do it without audio.
I don't want to play the whole thing on there
Yeah.
because then nobody has like a reason to watch it.
No, I totally get you. But what I'm going to do is here. So when the video first starts, because this is basically where the video starts.
Yeah, let's start with that then. And this is now, if you'll notice, it has been brightened and the contrast has been upped a lot to get some definition. So what happens is the cat peeks its head out. It looks towards me. Okay, well, you not see there's a few frames before that, and then it starts to walk out. Okay, and that really bright thing on the left side of what we'll call that the head is one of its eyes glowing in the dark. I think it's called tapetum lucidum or something like that. Okay,
exactly.
And that's one of the eyes. That would be the left eye on the far left of that image where the arrow is. But if you look where the arrow is pointing, there's a face right there that looks kind of like a shark head. You see like eyes and a lot of teeth. That's sticking out of the side of the cat's neck right away.
Right.
And if you go a little further to the right, there are 2 small black eyes that are further down in addition to that. Okay. And so what happens is the cat starts to move. And as it's moving, and I'm going frame by frame, you see the cat's head come out. And then you have this little shark head sticking out of its neck. And the cat's head keeps going. The shark head stays there for a couple of frames and it goes, and it catches up to it.
Yeah,
See?
pulls in.
Right. And an expert in the field told me that what happens with these cameras is the camera, of course, being computerized, it has a computer in there, is anticipating the shape, the movement of what it's looking at, because it has obviously an extensive library in terms of images, memory, etc. But this is not what's happening. So all of a sudden it thinks there's two animals there. So it starts filming separately. And then it realizes, no, this is the same thing. So then the head kind of rushes and connects again. And the cat continues to walk. And so as this animal is moving, it starts doing the John Carpenter's The Thing routine, minus the scary, I'm here to take over your planet and eat everybody's brain or something like that, of course. Because, I mean, to me, this is just an animal. But, and it just starts popping out things out of itself as it's moving. I'm sorry, 1 second.
Not a problem. I'm trying to find the other image where, and I think the second image.
I think you have some further down, because that's way further. That's like halfway through the film or something like that.
Right. The only other one I have for that is about here.
Well, let's go back to the first one we were looking at.
Sure,
Because there's
no
more
problem.
stuff to talk about that. Not that one. Okay, so this is that first stuff. Now, there's so much of this stuff as you go through the film, and you have to watch this thing and take your time. You can rewind if you need to, although I try and explain stuff, frame by frame. I do like sometimes 2, 3, 5, 8, 10 frames at a time going through it, and then go review and indicate stuff and circle stuff, etc. But you're probably going to want to go back and forth. Use your arrows, boom, 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 toggle back and forth so you can see. And you're going to be like, whoa. This is not like pixels being dragged across the screen. This is not like a residual imagery. If you move your hand real quick across that and like that, this is a lot of crazy stuff that shouldn't be there, but it is. Okay. Let's go to the one where you had the two images at the front and the back. Remember I said one was near the beginning? Yeah, that one. Yep. Yeah. Now this is like X number of frames in. You can see already 5 minutes and 30 seconds out of 24:42. Although the first 3 minutes is me giving a background on alien big cats, as they're called, across the planet or something. So now if you look at the one on the right side, you can see the cat's two eyes. Yes?
Oh, 100%.
Okay. Yeah, they're like lanterns. I call it his headlights. Okay.
And they're big.
Yes.
It's a big eye.
Well, and part of that is the fact that when you increase the brightness, of course, the eyes glow brighter.
Right.
That's just part of the course. Whites get whiter. You add conscious blacks and get blacker, that type of thing. So we have to take these into account. So what happens here is you can see the head shape of the cat. You can see its shoulders, its body length if you're looking, and it has an elongated cat-like body, like a very large house cat or a small mountain lion, which is what I originally thought it was. I estimated its minimum height, the shoulder was 18 inches, and we'll see that in one of the images we'll get to in a little bit. The weird part is that if you look at the cat right now, okay, if you look where its left forearm is and shoulder,
right,
okay, if you look down where its arm is, its left arm, it would be, because it's facing its left side towards us, and where it meets the concrete, okay, there's a face there which looks like a gray. You can see the dark almond-shaped eyes and a little mouth, and of
at
course
the
the shape of the head.
very bottom of that, on the left image.
Okay,
am I correct with that?
You have are you able to put a cursor on this image?
No, but you know what? Let me see if I could bring it up and show it, in a different way.
Maybe can you zoom in?
I'm going to try to. So
Okay.
I think what we'll do is we'll do 643. I'm going to open it up with probably preview.
Okay.
And then,
like you said, if I was doing conferences, I'd be able to do this, myself, and point everything out to everybody.
yeah, they should give you the ability. Unfortunately, this program that we use to get it done doesn't allow you to do that. And I'm going to share this piece right here, and hopefully, let's see if it gets in there. And we'll look at the image, and there we go. So where do you want me to go?
Okay.
Can you see the cursor at this point?
Yeah, the cursor is all the way on the left. I put it where the cat's eyes are. No,
Right here?
no. The cat's eyes on the right.
On the right.
Those eyes. Okay. Now
Okay.
go about to where its shoulder would be.
Right about
Stop
there.
right there. That's the top of what looks like a gray's head. You can see the curve, and under it are these large eyes. One even has a little white dot in it.
Right. And that would be right
That's an
there.
eye, and there's the other eye.
Another one right where the cursor is.
Right. And then there's a little mouth under that. You see, that's one of the things, and these pop out a lot more when the contrast is increased. And then if you go to the center of the body where the rib cage is, right there, right there, that's the mouth of something. Now a little to the left, and then above it are eyes. Okay, and then if you go to the right a little bit, that is right there. Stop. Get a little tiny bit to the left. That's right. Stop. Right above that would be the nose of what looks like what we call a dog man. Okay, and if you go above that, you'll see eyes and the mouth and fangs. Okay, and then further to the right, there's another face with glistening eyes. So this animal, as it's walking, this creature, as it's walking, or this we'll call it an animal because the odds are it's just something that has like some sort of unique abilities, is able to change form and shape as it moves. Why it's doing that, we could talk about in a little bit. But for anybody who believes that it's impossible for this to do that, the same animal on the far left side of the screen, that's the same animal. Okay.
Yep. And that's an incredible thing at the end of it. So everybody, we're on the right hand side here. This animal, it starts off like just a head, slowly. I mean, what you're seeing is the elongated. This is a frame capture, but this whole body eventually catches up and compresses a little bit. It's really weird. You got to watch the video. I'd like to show the video or parts of it. I wasn't prepared for it, but I do agree. Go to his video. I just put it in chat, and I'm going to put it. It's just go to his YouTube site. You're going to see it there, and you can't miss it. It's a great video because then you get to see exactly. Just remember what we're doing here, the show, or put that up. You can have two videos going at once with two different browsers, and then you can go through it and see it, and then you'll get it.
Yeah, if you look at the size of the head on the animal on the left, where the red eyes are, okay, and that's the top of its head, almost the top of it, and the bottom of its chin, which are a little to the right there. Compare the size of that to the head of the cat. Now, the animal on the left has gone over the barrier a little bit. That's the top of the egress, the concrete slab. So its chin is maybe...
That's this area right about here.
Yeah, his chin is stopped right. Okay, down a little down.
That's where his chin is.
Yeah, that's the bottom of his chin. He kind of looks like a big wolf or something like that, or a hyena. I don't know, something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, and then if you go up a little bit, stop. That's the mouth, and right above that triangle is his nose.
It's the nose.
Okay, and then the eyes, even though they're white without the red dots, that's right there. And that whole thing is a head. Look at the size difference. It's like 5 times the mass, and that's including keeping an idea that the head is about approximately a foot over the edge of the concrete, because you can see the chin has overlapped the stone now, whereas where it first is, its feet are sinking down. It's about a 7 or 7.5 inch drop from the edge of the stone you can see down to the ground, which we'll see in a little bit. See, so I mean, this is an amazing. Its mass has doubled, most likely, and it's changed shape too.
I mean, it's if the right side is the head, it's actually, I mean, it's 6 times that size. If you put, you can put each head, like 2 of them, in the same spot where you have the measurement right here between this line and this line. If you actually do it visually, you can see that this whole area is equal to about 2 of these, one on top of each other. And then you have this space in the middle, and then you have another space. It's a big, big head. This isn't a joke.
Yeah. I mean, if the original cat weighed 70 or 80 pounds, the finished product has got to be close to twice that. Maybe 130, 140 pounds, as we'll see. You want to, I mean, people are gonna have questions as they go through the video themselves, but does anybody have any? Because we got a lot of time here. Does anybody have any questions so far before we move on to another frame or 2?
I'm looking.
And
Oh, we do have a question, and that's always, but she's an investigator too. She's asking not as a shot, but are you getting people saying pareidolia?
I had this one guy who saw on the video who said, "Oh, it's nothing. It's either a raccoon or a big cat. I'm not convinced. I'm not impressed." Something like that, and tried just blowing it off like it was nothing. And there are shots in here where this animal is moving, where it has like this large head on its hindquarters, its
Right,
haunch, and there are these globular eyes that are like big and literally look like they're a hemisphere of like clear crystal with a pupil or something in there. And as the
right,
cat's moving, remember how I said like its body seems to shift and stuff, like it elongate and stuff like that? Well, there are parts where the body seems to move, like an inner body, and an outer body, like a layer, seems to be outside of that. Like it's like a snake shedding its skin. It's moving
right,
out of its own skin or something. And you could put out a lot of theories on that, how it could do this. Is it putting out a layer of itself and then letting that layer slide back as maybe a protective layer if it was
right,
attacked? Because I suspect it was scared and so it was a big bluff. Is it doing it for that reason? Or is it that as it morphs or changes appearance, let's say, is the outer appearance there and then it moves forward and then it's reabsorbing that? It's
right.
impossible to say without obviously more knowledge, more,
Being
sitting
there,
down for the animal for an interview.
yeah,
But
exactly. I mean, I've actually come pretty close to the cryptid known as the dog man several times. And at one point, the left hand side gives me a little bit of definitely a big cat vibe, and also a little bit of a on the hyena-ish side to a certain degree.
mhm. Well, the
Um,
one on the left, that head sort of has a bit of a hyena look or something.
yeah,
Wolf,
and
bear. It's kind of hard to say.
and if I met that size hyena in person,
Mhm.
it would be an interesting night. Let's put it that way. I mean, I've seen something similar, but yeah. Do we want to go to a different? Because
I had.
what I can do is I can pull
Mhm.
that up again and make it larger, and then I can use the crosshairs and the pointer to go through.
Okay, wait. So we don't have any questions from your audience yet.
Um, Not really questions. We had comments like the right side looks like a Persian face. I'm gonna go
But
scan them
M
and
Max,
see.
this is from your backyard?
This is right outside my office window.
Okay,
Like this is my office right there. Okay.
okay, and your, uh, alien arriving through a interdimensional portal, that was actually from, uh, someone else's house, who donated the, video to you from their trail cam that was left outside. Is that correct?
Um, what it was is I don't own the house. If first off, that's what you're saying. So obviously not the same location, but is it was my trail camera,
Oh,
and I'll go around like people tell me things, let's say, or something. I'll find a spot that looks promising, but I was there and I actually went outside and I did what I called flash the camera to trigger it, which is the camera was on a post. I leaned over the post. I was looking to see what was there. I took my hand. And I went real quick in front of the camera, which triggers it, and then it runs for 30 seconds in IR, in this case near IR mode, filming. And other than I didn't see anything, but there was a lot of cold and sort of like a staticky feeling that made the hair on the back of your neck stand up. Although some of that was also getting a little nervous after a while because I'm like, all right, something doesn't feel right here, that
Yeah.
kind of stuff. But that was different. This is not that type of camera. This is a installed security camera from one of the alarm companies that was on there,
Yep.
but it has a capture mode, so you can actually hit it and it records like a 20 or 30-second clip.
so are you finding that with more people using trail cams that they are reporting to you or other authorities? Well, there really is no other higher authority in like shape shifting animal studies than you, but are people reporting more of these unusual events, animals, whatever you want to call them?
I don't really know. I mean, I've seen, like, for example, in a park somewhere it was in PA. I don't know if it was in the area. Honestly, I'd be lying if I said it was, one place or another. But they had filmed a very large black cat from a distance. The police had been called, but by the time they got there, it was gone. Somebody had a little, like a phone picture of it or something like that.
Hmm.
Um, whether it was be the same type of animal, I don't know. I do live in Bucks County, Pennsylvania, which is, you probably know, is
Yep.
um, notorious for sightings of everything from UFOs to uh,
To Chestnut Ridge, if I'm correct.
I'm not familiar with Chestnut Ridge, but they've had is that like a
It's
park or something?
It's
Or
it's
it's
near Buck.
it's a mountain range.
It's a mountain
oh,
range. Yeah, there, and it's notorious for really
Bigfoot.
strange everything. I mean, you
in
can think of it.
Doylestown, which is a few miles from me,
Right,
maybe 3 or 4 miles as the crow flies, as they say.
right.
Um, with a vampire bat. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, I saw bad guys freaking like a year or two ago. I was walking in the neighborhood at night, and there's not supposed to be bats that big, but this thing was probably about 26 inches across, which is much
Wow.
bigger than bats
Yeah,
are. Yeah, and I mean, I was looking right at it. Flew like 8 or 10 feet over my head.
that's
With
a
normal sized
big
bats, this
bat.
one. Yeah, and it was a funny night because I was talking to a friend of mine. Then I walked under a tree, and there was something in the tree, and it was like made this sound like something like that. I was like, my
Wow.
friend was like, "What the hell is that?" And I'm like, "I'm hoping it's a vulture. I'm gonna just keep on walking, and whatever. I was like, I'm not doing it right. I'd strain my vocal cords to do this thing
Yeah,
sound. It sounded like just a very large, unpleasant bird, very large. Like a turkey vulture or something like that. But no,
right.
the area is known for that. Doylestown has had, like every other year for 3 different sightings. They had a dog man, we'll call it sighting, some upright biped with a wolf-like head. One ran across a small country road near the school with a mom and a couple high school kids. Ran right across in front of them and then leapt 20 feet into the trees, which is pretty impressive for a guy in a costume if it was that.
Yeah,
But a lot of different stuff. I have a
it's
sister-in-law. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, no, no. It's really interesting because if you hear sounds like that in Florida, where when I moved from New York to Florida, I mean,
Mhm.
it's like anything could be down. We could have pterodactyls at this point, but going 20 feet, it's nothing. If people don't mimic a dog man, there is a
Mhm.
trust me when I tell you, and having a very close encounters with these things, you're not going to, there's no human being that I've ever met in my life that could
Mhm.
mimic that. It's so, yeah. I don't know what that is, but I'm walking a little bit faster. That's actually insane. So you live like in like Journey to the Center of the Earth type of PA.
It sometimes feels like that, but it's a nice area. It's an upscale area. I have like beautiful woods right outside the window practically. I sit there and I'll see deer left and right, this type of stuff.
Right?
Um,
That's cool. I mean,
yeah,
we
a
we
lot of
we have
stuff.
someone from like Cole's Paranormal said the left side reminds me of a lion, but then Bino said something very interesting. I was just on with the Paranormal Rangers, and an elder on that said the experience they had, the skinwalker changed into 3 different animals. So, with that in mind, and maybe you know a little bit more of the skinwalkers,
Hmm.
skinwalkers are definitely shapeshifters.
Hmm.
So, do you think this is that may fall into a skinwalker category, which I would find it odd because I think you live in Northeast. Not many there, skinwalker wise, in
Um,
general.
the My understanding is skinwalkers are bipedal beings or
Right.
creatures, and this is a quadruped, and significantly smaller. Skinwalkers have a reputation, from what I understand, of being very aggressive, very dangerous to human beings and other beings. So, not something you'd want to approach. This animal is significantly smaller, although it could get big enough to defend itself. Obviously, we see what's on the left here. Um, but would probably be more likely to run away from a person to conceal itself.
Right. So yeah, it's whenever I hear about skinwalkers and people are doing it like, oh, the the East Coast. I'm a little bit hesitant.
Mhm.
It's all Navajo related, and although they were parts of the East Coast at one point, the primary is in middle of the country and southwestern, and go a little bit north from there. So I always get a little bit suspect on this. But what you're proposing with what the creature dogman, which can be bipedal or quadrupedal, because it is known to walk on all fours. That's where that's what I was in mind thinking. Also the big black cats, like phantom cat.
Hmm.
So, but
Well,
I
the
just
cat, it looked black in the beginning. Obviously, it's lighter because I've been adjusting, to make everything pop and whatnot. But it's just an incredible thing because when you see as the animal moves across the screen, it seems to exudes all these different faces of. It's like a who's who, a cornucopia of extraterrestrials. You
yeah,
see what looks like a Sasquatch or a Bigfoot, what looks like a dogman, what looks like a gray, what looks like an insectoid, what looks like I don't know what the heck some of them are, honestly. And you see all these different faces, then you say to yourself, okay, so if this animal can do all these things, can change into all these beings, and why is it doing that? We should touch on. Then it must either have some ingrained knowledge of them or have had encounters with them itself in order to be able to do this whole. Like it's almost like it has a closet full of things it can choose from of what it's going to wear. That other video with this reptilian type being, if you look in the background, and I'm more and more convinced that it's some sort of portal, because if you look behind it, you can see all these other faces. It's almost like what else was through there. This was the only one that maybe
yep,
came through, and there's other stuff behind him or her. I think it was a him. But so it's fascinating as to why the animal started doing that. My personal theory on it is that it was frightened. It wasn't expecting to see somebody there that suddenly jumped up out of their desk and came over to take a look or something like that.
yep,
And I mean, an 18-inch tall cat compared to me is a bit smaller. So it was probably alarmed, frightened by something, and it started putting on a threat display, we'll call it, to protect itself, like a frilled lizard, which was the undoubtedly the inspiration for the Dilophosaurus. Remember Jurassic Park, the one that goes like
Yeah.
with the
yeah,
frill? Well, there's a real lizard that does that to look
yep,
much bigger. There are manises that put their arms like this and make themselves look like a lizard or a snake, something like that, and look significantly larger, etc. So this animal was probably doing the same thing to look like more intimidating beings. Let's say that it would be like, don't mess with me. I'm a king cobra. I'm a rhinoceros. I could hurt you.
yeah.
See,
I mean,
but let's go ahead. I'm sorry, Mark.
no. Let's continue and go a little bit deeper.
Yeah, let's even throw up another one on there. I can send you a couple. So
Yep. You want this one or this one, because we're still in the same
let's do this one first. I think that's a few,
46.
a few seconds before or something
No
like that. Or
problem.
second before.
So
Okay,
I'm
so
gonna close this one, close the and I'm gonna open up 46 so I can go a little bit bigger with it. Just so we can get a better look at it, if you don't mind. I'm gonna do the
sure.
same thing with what I did before. This way I can go back and forth and then share it that way.
Yeah, or you can put them side
Um,
by side if you like.
I'd love to put them side by side, but I can't do that at this point. That they don't let me. The StreamYard program that we use is just we're doing the best we can with what we got to work with, and unfortunately, it's not the greatest. So I'm working on other software that I will be able to literally give you control, and you can actually click, 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 and do what you need to do. But here we are, and we should be able to see. I, there's the pointer. So tell me where you need me to go. I'm going to put it on top of the ledge right there.
Sure. Okay, so first off, where the arrows are, this is the face of a reptilian type being we're looking at. That is, part of the cat has been moved to the left. That's where its chest and waist is. The part on the right, where its haunch or its butt is is kind of hard to make out. It's like some almost like insectoid or gray eyes. You can see them stacked up. If you move your cursor up a tiny, stop right there. Wait, to the right, a little more. Okay, now you're on top of one. Go under it a little bit. Stop. Now, right above the cursor is an eye, and then a tiny bit to the right, there's a second one. A little more right there. And then above it, you have another set of those above that as well. Could be the same animal or being that has 4 eyes. I don't know. But that I didn't focus on. The larger head to where the arrows are points to the eyes of a reptilian type face. Now, I call this the gecko because it reminds me of the gecko from the TV commercials, for the insurance company.
Right.
I don't keep mentioning the name because maybe it'll come back and bite me or something like that. But but that's what it looks like to me. And you can see those are the eyes. The top of the head is at the midpoint between the arrow, like the triangles of the arrows, a little higher, all the way upwards. Stop right there. Okay. Then if you come down a little bit, stop. That's like the top of the nose. Go down further. This we'll call this the muzzle, and that's the mouth. And if you go to the left and right, you can actually see like these curved sort of fang like things that look like right there. Now under it would be its chin.
Right here.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is some sort of reptilian looking face. Now, I don't think it's a real reptilian. I think it's the shapeshifter kind of like bluffing and putting something that, reptilian that size would, if it has an 18-inch head, would be huge.
It's
probably
ginormous.
6 times that height.
Yeah.
5-6 times that height. So 90 inches, 108 inches, something like that. 8-9 feet. Obviously not something you'd want to mess with versus an 18-inch at the shoulder cat. See? Now, what's also interesting is when you go to the left, you have that. You see those eyes? There's a pair. That's pair. Keep going. Pair. And then to the left, another pair. Okay. And the animal starts multiplying its heads. It starts doing what I call a Cerberus routine. And there's 1 head, 2 heads, 3 heads, 4 heads. And these it isn't residual imagery again, where the head is being multiplied. The heads are literally multiplying. You can see they're striking slightly different poses. And at one point, you see it even blink. The eyes like narrow in one head. So obviously the heads are all moving independently of one another, which is an amazingly talented creature to be able to do that. Okay. Right. Let's pull up the next one because it was very similar.
With the red graphic on it?
It looks sort of like this. I don't know if it has a graphic or not.
It does. Let me just close this window. Pardon me. Close selected image, and then we're going to go to 45. There we go. We'll open it with that. Give me a minute to close a little bit here, and then I'm going to share it. I believe it's this one right here. Sharing. Is that the image?
Yeah, that's perfect. Okay, so now if you look here, now that we're getting into some really funky stuff here. 1 second. Okay, so first, if we go back to where I said the reptilian face was, you could see it a little better now. You can see the eyes, the snout, the open mouth. That's not it. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's his nose. Okay, it's the nostrils. And there's the eyes.
With the fangs.
That's the mouth. Okay, that's the open mouth. Now go up, straight up. A little to the left, right? That's an eye. And the opposite side, you can see the other eye right better, right? A little to the left. You went too far. That's it. You're on it right now. Right. Okay. And you can see the top of the head. If you go up, it's like dark into the top, etc. And that's all fine. But now if you look at the Cerberus heads there's 3 of them you can see individually, and they're all looking. They're all staring at me. 2, 3. Right. Okay. And those are not 3 heads that are like like, like, oh, I blended the residual imagery here. They're all different poses. Okay. It's just, it all of a sudden gave itself 3 or 4 heads. And to me, that's striking. Something is striking out as trying to look like a pack, see, instead of, one animal. If you saw a pack of like a pride of lions versus 1 lion, you'd be much less inclined to do something to it. I wasn't like I had a gun. I was going to shoot the poor thing.
Max, what you said about a pack, okay, you look at that, okay, could be misidentified as like a mom raccoon and like 3, cubs or whatever the little ones are called.
Hmm.
Babies?
Uh, but you don't have really any indication of like the elongated snout.
Hmm.
So it that doesn't seem so like just throwing out okay, like a family of raccoons. That really doesn't seem to answer the question. So
Hmm.
we're back to what did your camera capture?
Hmm. Well, when you see the elongated snout, are we looking at the ones like the with the bright eyes or the large head? Because they're
No,
all
I
kind
was
of
just
facing
saying
the same
it.
way.
It if it were a raccoon, you would
Hmm.
see more of
Oh, the
uh
pointy nose.
yeah,
Hmm.
but you don't see that. So what we're back to you trying to give us an explanation for what we're seeing. It's something different.
Um, it is what I think it is, and when you're going through the video frame by frame and watching it, you'll see it's the cat, but it has multiple heads. So there are
Yeah.
cat heads or sort of
Right.
cat heads. I mean, it's really dark, so it's kind of hard to tell. Although there's a set of eyes also under those 2 arrows in the middle, black
Yeah,
eyes.
just like right there, the grayer than the other ones, correct?
Mhm. Not where the cursor is, right there and there. Yeah, that and
Yeah.
that. See, those are like three-dimensional eyes.
Right.
And when you see these, when you're looking for in images like this, if you're looking to find beings,
Right.
it could be a needle in a haystack. But if you find a pair of eyes, okay, matching, that's not normal. And then you can look for what is attached to those eyes. It's something that is like can be your bread and butter when it comes to this type of situation. This being, this animal, is able to change like at the drop of a hat. It is incredibly talented. And like Mark said, though, there's no raccoon noses or anything like that. It just turns, it looks, and all of a sudden its head goes one and goes doot, 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 like this, and it's all like, hey, here we are. Don't mess with us. There's a lot of us.
Right.
Um, that effect was lost on me at the time because number one, it was dark. I mean, I'm in a brightly lit office. It's pitch black out there. You know, but
Right.
and it's just, but it's fascinating stuff. If you go to the right, let's see if we could do this. Okay. Oh, that's going to freak people out. All right, hold on. Go to the right a little bit. Okay, now stop right there. Now go straight up. Stop. Okay, now right there is what looks like a mouth of some kind. You see that
Yep.
dark stuff?
And I see the nose above it.
Yeah. And then you see two eyes that are lean to one side, it looks like.
Right
Right there,
there.
that's one. And then go to the left on angle, a little higher up. No, no, to the right. Right there. That's the other one. But then you see these two large eyes that are above it. See, this thing changes shape constantly.
Yeah.
To the left, that's it, and left the other one. Now those are indicated later in orange on there. And that mouth that we're looking at, it's prior to that, it's like a crocodile mouth. It's open like a triangle, like a wedge with teeth. And those
And
weird shaped eyes that are like sad eyes, like angled like that, or atop that. Then that mouth goes like this. See, but the eyes are still there. And then
in the
above those
video,
eyes, mhm,
you'll see he uses the red to show you where the crocodile,
mhm.
the mouth is, and
Yeah, and if you go top of where your cursor goes straight up, just keep going a little, and stop right there. That stuff looks like brain matter or tubercles sticking out of something's eyebrow or its head. See, it's like lumps, like lump, 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 like this. What is it?
yeah.
Nobody could tell. The footage isn't that great because it's infrared and there's some grain to it. Go to the left, you got some eyeballs again. And this thing is just like throwing a party.
Right.
It's crazy stuff and it's great. And
Multiple personalities.
yeah, I mean, you could have a party, like 16 people and invite one guest. And you got to bring a lot of food, obviously.
It's the
But
Sybil of the feline world. I'm showing my age with that thing. But so you're using a specific security camera? Do we know the brand or?
I think it's mentioned in the video, but the carrier is I think it's ADT.
Okay.
In fact, it
So
is.
and so the frame rate isn't even near 30. It's probably
No,
50.
gosh, no. The
That
maximum
seems
frame rate when I was an animator was 24 frames for top quality
right.
per second, and normal animation is at 12 frames a second, like the stuff you see on TV as a
So
kid. This
yeah,
is 10
so
frames a second, just so we're
that's
clear on
10
that.
frames.
Yeah,
Okay.
and it's covered in all this is discussed in the video there.
No problem. Quick question for you
Mhm.
before we get a little bit further on.
Sure.
And have you thought about, I'm getting this stuff now. I want better imagery.
Hmm.
Can you upgrade the camera to
Hmm.
something different that works with the system
Hmm.
and gives you, I don't know, clearer imagery, less, I don't want to say pixelation. It's not really pixelation. It's a brighter IR, a brighter IR and a better capture rate and adapt it to the system.
I mean, I could hook up any camera I want to this.
Right.
I could pay them to upgrade or whatnot. This wasn't done to research. This is just happens to be a security camera to keep
Yeah.
idiots from breaking into your house. We have them all over the place. In fact, I'm going to check some more of them and find out, like, tonight and see, hey, do I get lucky and find something else?
Yeah.
But
Does a bell go off, or something alerts you the next day? Oh, hey, these critters walked by, last night. Check these markers on the film, or do you have to sit there and watch it each morning?
No, the films they stay on there for like 30 days,
Oh,
and
okay.
you can. Yeah, I mention that because I think this wasn't the first time that this. I'm not going to call it a skinwalker. It might be insulted, but I think that the this shapeshifter had been around before. Maybe because I have a habit of like feeding the birds and the squirrels or something like that. But there was video I mentioned in there where a huge black cat had walked up on the stone wall right next to my window and was staring at that camera, like looking right at it, like, hey, are you looking at me? You know? And
Yeah.
the what do you call it? It just like I saw this footage and I was like, wow, that's a big cat, But I mean, I'd seen a fay, my daughter and I, like a few years prior to that, and had mountain lion tracks and who knows what. It wasn't
You have bathing Bigfoot.
there. I'm sorry,
Baiting,
baiting,
bathing
bathing.
Bigfoot.
I don't have any. Are you talking about the incident in Connecticut from like 30 something years ago?
Yeah.
The one that was
Well,
swimming?
no, and the fairy thing.
Oh,
Uh,
the Fae. Uh huh.
Bryan has his daughter's. One was on her hand.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. I caught her. One of my spots up in upstate New York, that I actually investigate high strangeness. We've had Bigfoot encounters, UFOs, other entities and beings. We went out for COVID to walk, and my youngest is a ham. So when everybody else was walking, I said, Jordan, and she started to pose. And as a paranormal investigator, I always take 3 photos. Boom, boom, boom. People hate me because I'm always eating up there. Like, dude, how many photos are you gonna take? It's a habit, and I got into it because you want to see, like we're doing right here, where the changes are. And there was actually more than that. It was like 10 images, boom, 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 automatic. And in one of the images, I saw this glowing thing on her finger. I thought maybe I caught a firefly. And then when you zoom in on it, it's a fae. I can send it to you. I've shown it before.
Sure.
I'll show you an image of it.
I
And
have I have seen Faye, a Faye up close, and
oh,
I have
so
some
yeah,
footage too, which I'll show you soon.
yeah.
Actually, so that sounds fantastic. They're fond of children.
Well, they are, and thing is, you're a gentleman, and I have daughters. Daughters use both hemispheres. They're more in tune to sons as well, but daughters are on a different level. The
Mhm.
female species, part of the species, and they're more in tune and open to certain things, so they do appear and they feel more comfortable in
Mhm.
that capacity. Um, gets into vibration, and I don't.
Mhm.
It's a long story.
No, no. The Fae that we saw was badly wounded. It had been hit by a car or something.
Ooh,
That's why it was lying on the ground, bigger than you would think. I mean, it had the head was about the size of an apple, and when it went airborne, it had a wingspan of maybe 3 or 4 feet. When
Wow.
it looked at me, yeah, it looked at me and it went like like this. And I was just stopped in our truck. It was me and my daughter was 7. She was in the back seat in her car
right,
seat, and it was afraid. You know, you see a guy in a big truck, especially if you just got hit by a vehicle.
right.
Um, and you know, whether it was hit by a vehicle or hit a wire or an owl took a swipe at it. I mean, who knows what could happen? You know, it's
Right.
a you know at nighttime, but the the it looked very scary. It had like these deep black eyes, this hissing mouth, this bristling stuff behind its head. You know, it was really hard to identify. My brain was trying to come up with the whole animal kingdom, everything in North America. What am I
Yeah.
looking at here? You know, you couldn't. Yeah, and then I think it realized that there was a child in the car, and I don't think it's just a matter of like looking like for children. They don't want to appear as scary. If it's an adult, it's frightened. It wants to scare you. You see, as a child.
Right.
So when it jumped up and its wings came out, it was hovering 20 feet from the headlights. It was like this shimmering, ephemeral thing or
Right.
ethereal. I tried to say 2 words at the same time there. The wings had this glow around them from my headlights. It was like scintillating, and it was kind of like clear but like silvery, and it was very attractive. And I was like, "What the hell is that?" Which I never cursed in front of my daughter then.
Yeah.
And she was like, "It's a fairy, Daddy. It's a fairy." And then it realized she was there, and it looked, and then it went like, whoosh, and it flew over the hood of the car.
Yeah.
So I think with a child's present, the adult is much less likely to jump out with a gun or who knows what.
Yep.
You know, we have parental instincts. We're protective of our children like any other being would be, etc.
Yeah.
So
That's a cool experience. I've seen some stuff inside homes of little girls. You know, the
yeah,
bedrooms, the beds. They're coming out like there's the fairies coming. The fairies there. The fairies there.
Yeah.
And the
Max,
parents.
there's your drawing.
Oh, you got to take off your
Yeah.
background, buddy. You can't see it.
Well,
Here.
I'm trying to honor Max with the fossilized fish head. Wait, hang on a second.
Yeah, but
Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna get you a subscription to what I'm using because then I can put up whatever I want and it doesn't do
Right.
anything bad.
Okay, there we go. There's Max's drawing in his book.
Ah, let's bring this over here. Let's see if we can get that. Let's unshare this for a second, and then we'll bring it back. There it is. That's your drawing right there. I'm gonna make it bigger. Sorry, Max.
that's okay. Not the most
Yeah,
flattering. I'm sure that the being itself would be there was a lot more hair now that I think about it. Like it was almost like a lion
right.
mane and this slightly smaller head like jutting out of it. That type of thing.
Yeah,
They,
they get that way, and it gets pretty interesting. Um, some of them are. I helped someone. I don't know if you know Lynn Monet, but I helped her out with I did a remote view, and I encountered what she was dealing with out there, and it was basically the Fae is fairy elemental, and I'm trying to describe it, and it's like it's a really ugly leprechaun, and kind of looks like the bankers at Grignot's in Harry Potter,
mhm,
and he's sitting with his head between two of the if it was a second floor, looking down like a little kid, feet over the ledge, and just saying, "Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you." He's cursing them because he wants them out of his house. That's
mhm,
his property. And eventually, so she used to call him "fuck you," and then
mhm,
they changed the name. His name is Bob, and I've actually
mhm,
seen Bob sitting in my backyard in Florida, which Lynn at the time didn't. She's like, "How the hell is he doing? This is bullshit." But I was
mhm,
spot on about everything, and she believed me, and I love when people check on what I do, because I want you to do research. I don't want you to sit there and be spoon fed stuff. I mean, get off your ass and do some research. That's what being an adult is. But I was proven correct, And when she came to, we went to the Gettysburg Battlefield Bash that they have every summer, and she was there with a table. Bob was sitting there, and he's really small, and he's totally different. He looked a lot more handsome. He didn't look like that Grignot's, banker, and he had his little feet, and they're doing the wish. It's like when a little child sits there, and he was just happy to be part of that whole thing. And she, I saw him sitting there, and as I'm talking to Lynn, and I'm smiling because I know he's there. And then some lady came over and said, Miss, where's the little boy that was sitting here with you?
Mm-hmm.
And she said, oh, he went away. He wasn't a little boy. He's about, a million years old. I mean, he's been here since the beginning of time. And it gets into a long story, but that's a cool, does your daughter still remember or no?
She just remembers like the snow and the falling. There was a little bit of snow falling and some of the wind and stuff like that. I think she took a lot of flack about it, so she kind of like pushed it out of her mind. She was only
Right.
7 at the time. She told her friends about it, and then like one of her cousins gave her and me a bunch of shit, which stopped me from hanging out with my brother for oh gosh, up until recently,
I don't blame you.
7 years. 7
I
years
don't
we
blame
hardly
you.
spoke. Yeah,
Well,
he was
you know what? Until it happens to them, this is why I love when people that, like, if your brother had the experience, he'd be like, and then he'd come to you and be like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to make fun of you. It was just weird, and I just saw this.
No,
It's
it wasn't him. It was her. It was his
yeah,
offspring.
it's just what it is, and
Mhm.
it's terrible. But we can get back to the that image with the multiple eyes and the multiple heads if you'd like, or we can change
Sure.
to a different image.
Oh, let's move on. It's already gosh, what are we doing this until 10?
Till 10. We're almost at the, yeah. I mean, do you want to?
Like
Take a
three
break?
I'm
quarters of
gonna
the way
go through
through.
the ones that you gave me that are left and see if so. We kind of discussed this one right here.
Hmm. Yeah, that's the
This-
show that when somebody says there's no way the thing changes shape, and I'm like, well, this is the beginning and this is the end. Does that look like the same
Yeah.
animal? No.
Look at that. I mean, it's a huge difference. One looks like a mountain lion. It really does. I mean, you kind of can see. I'm gonna, ears above. You can see where the ears are. And it's interesting. Then we had this one, which is the beginning where you see the mouth. And then I think you gave me this one. It's the same thing, but twice. One's clearer than one has more pixelation in it, one's smoother.
Right. Okay. So the one on the left, this is where you see the now you got me calling it a cat, but the being the animal. Okay, turn toward the camera, and that's without being increasing the contrast and the the brightness to try and make
Right.
it pop more. Okay, you can see it there, but you can see it better on the right. It becomes a little more pixelated, but you can see now. You can even make out some teeth in the open mouth there.
Right.
Those little white thingies and stuff. And
Yeah.
I'm looking now. I'm like, okay, this thing actually has more than 2 eyes. It looks like, but it was constantly changing shape. It was like
Yeah.
it couldn't make up its mind. I think it was frightened, but who am I to say? I'm just guessing.
Right. It's you know what? Someone said you need a FLIR, a FLIR camera. Yeah.
Oh gosh, I have thermals that will blow people's minds. I mean, I
Yeah.
have collected stuff over the last year that is just incredible. You know?
Oh,
So
there's a part 2 in the works now.
on the cat or on
Oh, having Max come back to
oh, definitely. Oh,
share
I mean,
the other photos.
I think it would be great. I think what you got to do is you got to go to the video, and let me see if I can post it there. If it's there again, there we go. Boom. I'm posting it in chat one more time, and you go watch the video, then come back to Third Eye Live. And hey, Wayne, and here's the video. It's there. It's in. You can get to it real quick. I think I could put it into the show description again. and then come back and listen to. You're going to hear Max go through this very thoroughly. And it's better to have it like Max, like you said, it's better to be on the screen and use the arrows, go back and forth, because he's not playing with the video. He's not putting it through filters. He's not screwing it up at all. It's literally using your arrows to go forward and backwards, and you will see it change its shape. I mean, it physically is elongated, kind of like a slinky, and then like a slinky comes back into shape into one area. Or if you're old enough, I don't know if people had a Stretch Armstrong. That doll, it was made from some kind of weird silicone, and you can stretch him like 2 feet, and if you let go, he slowly comes back into one form. But you should definitely watch that. I wanted to ask, because Max has, I wanted to share this. So again, this is Phantom Cat Reveal. Is it a shapeshifter? And I'm going to remove this, and I'm going to remove a bunch of them, and I'm going to show you where it is, so you can go take a look at it. I'm not stopping right now. I just want to be able to share your YouTube page so people can see where it is. It makes it easier. And so here we go. Share the screen. And this is Max's YouTube right there. Supernatural Survivor with Max. And if you scroll down just a little bit, there is the Phantom Cat revealed as a shapeshifter on the lower end of it. But
And I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, please.
Since you had mentioned the megalodon before, there is a reveal on what it ate based on scientific research and fossil evidence right next to that.
Yep.
And then next to that is actually based on some evidence. Some friends of mine, the tutors from Canada, got photo and video evidence of see that guy right there? That's one of the guys that works for Bruno Mars. He did a short for my daughter for her birthday.
Yeah, I saw that is so fantastic.
Yeah, he has the opening part for 24 Karat Magic, that song.
Right.
So what do you call it? So this one here says Mega Shark or Megalodon. That whale, that dead whale you see there, has bites taken out of it, some of which are like 37, 38 inches across and gigantic.
Right. And before the show started, I was telling Max, I have a friend, he was on the last show, Eric, who is a physicist, and he sends me a video about a group going off the coast of New England. And they're in a large part of the Atlantic, and they're pinging the bottom of the ocean. And they get back from pinging the sonar what looks like a 60-foot size great white shark. Here's the problem. Great whites don't get that big.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, what do you think it is? And my personal opinion is it's a megalodon.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe that and this is where I'm going to ask you, Max.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe megalodons are actually extinct.
Mm-hmm.
Now you have this wonderful book, well, a series of them actually.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see if we get to let's go with that one. We'll share it again. I'm going to take you out for a second. Kronos Rising. Max has a ton of books, and I just watched your Kronos Rising play Kraken. This is right up my alley because, like I said before, I love Steve Alton. I was a Michael Crichton guy. I found Steve Alton. I interviewed him. I'm trying to get him. I don't know if he's still alive. He's suffering from a debilitating disease. I don't know if he's doing anything, and I haven't been following. But he was a wonderful guy, and we had the best compliment in the world. He said, my publicist said, do this show, and I'm like, what kind of crap stuff is this? And he goes, but you guys ask really good questions. So it was really nice. And I love the fact that you're in this same genre with the same people. And these are you've become part of that usual suspects eventually. So with that video, 60-foot shark, they had the audacity to say, the colleagues and I believe it was a school of fish in the shape of a shark.
Well, anything's possible. The megalodon definitely approached or maybe hit 60 feet. I did size estimates on it using posterior dentition, and then compared that to fossils from, complete sets of jaw, like teeth. I was able to scale up. Hold on, let me get something. I'll give you an idea. 1 second.
Sure. Party on, Wayne. Wayne had a great show, and his guest, just so you know, go to the Michigan UFO Sightings and Paranormal Encounters YouTube channel. Watch the continuation of Benny's interview. He was live. It's fantastic, and they're going to talk about some cryptids too, and I know about them, but some of you may not, and you're going to want to. Things are getting weird. Yes. That's when you finally get onto something, things are getting weird. We may have to talk.
Things just get weird when Wayne and Michelle just show up.
Oh, wait. One other thing.
Okay, I will be. Wow, I gotta. Okay, I gotta. Okay. We're going to have to talk, Wayne. Yeah, I got to get up early tomorrow, but yeah. Oh, your school's haunted. Wayne he teaches middle school as well as Michelle, and now he finds out his school's haunted. Yeah, they're all haunted. It's the crazy lunch lady. Yeah, we'll get we have some time left. We have about 20 minutes. So, well, I'm going to.
Oh, gosh. I didn't have it. I wasn't prepared to come out here and talk about prehistoric life or anything like that.
No. It's fine. One of the guys, and I think you did their show. They said the new Meg study has it up to 80 feet. Well,
there's a lot of different stuff that pops out there. Different things, ideas saying like, oh, it was shaped like an eel all of a sudden. That doesn't really work for me, because one thing we know about Megalodon is that it has these really like big, fat, blunt teeth.
Yeah.
And these teeth, like if you compare it to a white shark tooth, okay, even if I bring this out here to make them the same size almost.
Yeah.
You could see that the Megalodon tooth in my hand is significantly fatter. Yep. Which means, of course, that the jaws were very big and bulky. Okay, so you don't have a shark that's swimming around like a giant sperm with a big giant eating head and then a long eel-like body behind it. It's not very conducive to hydrodynamics, swimming speed or anything like that. So I find all that like a bit of a stretch, pun intended. Okay, right. But a 60-foot animal is still enormous. See, the problem is how do we crunch the numbers to get that size? See, so I went, if you look at, you could probably pull one up online, but if you look at shark jaws, the largest teeth, these are the primary teeth or principal teeth, are in the very front of the mouth. Right. It's not like our teeth where we have big molars in the back for different purposes. So if you pull up I don't know, is it possible to pull up a Megalodon jaw, like a photo real quick? We can see if we can find one that's scientifically accurate. Unless you want me to send one to you real quick.
Hold on. I'm gonna share this screen with you, and then we'll just do it this way, because then I can go to it and you can say left, right, go down, whatever.
Sure.
It makes my life easier and your life easier.
Absolutely.
So here's the
complete set of jaws.
Well,
okay. Let's see what we got here. All right. So the one where you see the guys in it, that was from the Museum of Natural History. And that set of jaws was like double the size it should have been, because they made a mistake back then, the black and white one, where they used the same size teeth in the front of the jaws as they did in the back of the jaws, which is not, obviously, nobody knew the anatomy. Okay. Right. So it ended up being too big. But let's say.
What about the guy down here? Jim Jockeys.
Nah, that's not going to. we need something that really shows the individual teeth. Let's try the Megalodon Wikipedia one and look at that, for example.
Okay, I'm
Okay.
right here.
Yeah. See if we can blow that up.
Okay, let's go to it. Let's see if we can visit and see if they'll share the image. Let's see if it shares it. Nope, it won't share it. I hate this thing. It should just automatically share the damn thing.
Well,
But
can
we
you
got it
save
in
the
2
photo?
seconds.
Or I guess
No,
can.
you know what? It only lets you share for that one screen. It
That's okay. So just go back to that one. We'll make do. We'll make do. It's fine. It'll serve its purpose.
Here it is. And then I can make this bigger.
Yeah, just click on that bad boy and move it to the left a little bit if you can. So if you click on that, it won't open, is what we're saying. Like the actual image won't open.
Well, yeah. The problem you're going to have is.
No, that's fine. Okay. So now that's perfect. Okay. So what you have is if you go to the smallest teeth in the upper jaw, okay.
Right about there. Or back right there.
Okay. Yeah. Now you see how small they are compared to the center teeth in the upper jaw? Okay. So now this shows you how they gradiate down and they get smaller and smaller to where the jaws meet the joint. Okay.
Right.
And so the little ones are called the posterior teeth. You see they're tiny by comparison. They're also differently shaped. Okay. So now this is a posterior tooth. See this? Let me see if I can get a white background here. Okay. From a baby megalodon shark. Let me go out here and up. Okay,
right.
You see it?
That works.
Okay.
So, okay.
And this is a posterior tooth. I think it's either a 10 or an 11. I'd have to check my numbers and everything. Right. Okay. Now this is the same tooth. Okay, from what is or could have been, the odds are against it. It's going to go this way. It's mom. Good. Okay.
Gotcha.
You see the difference in size. Okay.
Right.
So now the exact same tooth found in the same area. But this is one of those tiny teeth that you're seeing on that set of jaws if we pull it back up. So you see this tooth, by crunching proportionally how big it was, this would be, I'm going to say this is probably an upper left. I'd have to check though. Yeah, probably upper left. And it's probably like a 10 or an 11, way in the corner. Very small tooth, yet it's still this big. Okay,
it's a big tooth.
Yes. Yeah. So the giant teeth in there, the principal teeth on this animal, could have been 8 or 9 inches in height, is the point. And so by scaling up from traditional formulas, we can then conclude that it is possible that the animal could have been 57, 59, even 60 feet in length, while maintaining its build, not as an elongated type of animal. See.
Gotcha.
But the thing is, so whether it's extinct or not, the evidence in the mega shark or megalodon video that's on the page there shows very powerful evidence. I mean, Dr. Simon Pierce, the whale shark expert, he's president of the Marine Megafauna Organization. There's a photo of him, I think it is, swimming next to a 40-foot whale shark that has a bite scar on its flank that's 4 feet across. A solid 4 feet across. Yeah, which suggests a shark, a macropredatory shark, about 40 feet in length. See? And so, yeah, you can actually see tooth grooves sliced into the scarring. When you look in my book, Monsters and Marine Mysteries, they're in there. And so this shows you that something took a hunk out of a whale shark, and it wasn't when it was little, because those wounds, they seal up and disappear within a year or two. People say, oh, the wound just grew over time. It doesn't work like that.
No.
See? So I'm glad that you say that, because some people think that. See, that's like a photocopy, and you hit enlarge, the animal gets bigger. I mean, if you and I had a stab wound when we were little, or a slice wound, or a curve, does that curve grow over time with us? No.
No,
see,
it doesn't.
Yeah, and a whale shark is like one of the master healers of the animal kingdom. It just fills in, and there's almost nothing. You could hardly tell. That bite is only a year or two old. So there's a shark out there of that immense size, see? But the evidence, what marine biologists has been on Discovery have said, is that they believe that great whites sometimes suffer from or have what's called gigantism, where they never stop growing. And as they grow and grow and grow, even though it slows over time, they can reach ridiculous proportions.
Is that something found within all shark species or just the great white?
I I couldn't tell you. This is what they've said, like on Discovery. Marine biologists theorize that. I believe it's accurate because the jaw bite, the bite marks that I've studied, people have sent me. Like there was a shark, an 11-foot shark called sea batch, that has an enormous bite on her side that's gigantic, and it looks like another great white did it. But the great white was immense, and they are sometimes cannibals. See, but
Yeah.
the thing with
Well,
megalodon is the megalodon's teeth, like this. These are again those principal teeth from the upper jaw. Actually, if we do the, here we go. So this would be your labial side, the outer side.
Yep. And there's where you mentioned gigantism
Hmm.
in your
yeah.
book. So it's it's,
I
they
mean,
can go into more detail. Just giving the viewers more background information. Okay, go ahead.
no. We're good. But
Yeah.
it's just an interesting. So I'm assuming you go deep sea fishing, where you go. Have you ever had an encounter with a great white out there or something larger?
One great white was seen, and it had actually bitten the head off of or eaten a blue shark that was on the hook. Let's say
Right.
we've had stuff snatched off. You don't know what did that. That's the one I told you about. That's Simon swimming with a whale shark. That is a bite 4 feet across. And that whale shark was the size of a large bus.
Yeah. It's
See?
no joke.
Yeah.
And there's the image to credit to Simon Pierce.
Hmm. But the thing with the megalodon is that I don't believe we have those left because the adults, my research overwhelmingly suggests, and it's in the video on megalodon, what did it eat, is that the young ones were active predators,
right.
when they were the size of a great white. But the big ones, their cartilaginous skeleton slows them down as they get older. And it's like when you see a whale shark swimming, the whale shark's tail is moving very laboriously because it doesn't have like steel girders for bones anymore. It's like
Right.
tire rubber and it flexes under load. So to go fast at that speed, muscles and tendons would rip apart. See, so the animal's limited when it gets 40, 50 feet long to swimming slow. And their jaws, their teeth, suggest overwhelmingly that the adults were scavengers. This tooth is like a nutcracker. This tooth from a great white is a blade. This is like a steak knife. And this is something like a bone chisel with micro serrations like a hacksaw. Hacksaws are used to cut metal, right?
Right.
Or bone.
So that's one's for rip and shred. The other one's for chomp. Just keep
Right.
chomping away.
Yeah, the crazy part about the megalodon teeth is that they have these cusps here. See, they come out, they flare out.
Yep.
See that? Okay. And the white shark's primary teeth are like triangles, blades, like steak knives. They stay like that. But
Yeah.
these, as they get bigger, when the megalodon is small, when it's first born, its teeth are more like a white shark's. And I have baby ones to prove it. Okay. But they develop these cusps very rapidly. And these cusps, as they get bigger, fit perfectly between the ribs of the whales of its time period, which were smaller than the whales of today, 25 feet, 30 feet, most of them. So these, if this was a rib and this was a rib, this would come down between those two ribs. And when it got to this point, it would hit bone on bone. And those cusps, which are very, if you look at it from the side, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, they're kind of thin. See, like blade-like here and here. And they have these micro serrations. So they push in. You've got this thick column-like center, which is like a chisel. See that fatness?
Right.
Right there. This is a white shark tooth. And we're going to zoom in again, make them the same size. You see now, you see how this is still nice and flat, and this is like a chunky monkey, like
Yep.
the lady at Wawa calls me. I'm gaining weight. Chunky monkey. I'm like, ugh. But anyway, so this is designed to take a lot of squeeze here, right here.
Right.
And when it goes between those ribs and then hits these, they start to slice into the rib bone on this side and slice into the rib bone on that side. And this is
Yeah.
happening in multiple places: tooth, rib, tooth, rib, tooth, rib, tooth, rib. See? And those 4, 6 teeth in the front are doing this. The jaws come up, they come down, they feel. There's a feeling out process. Pop, it goes between the ribs, like you putting your hand in a glove, which you can do by feel, right?
Yep.
Okay. And then they start to sandwich those ribs by cutting in on this side and cutting that side. The rib is pressed between them. So instead of the shark having to break through the ribs by sheer force and losing a lot of these teeth, then it takes a while to recover and it can't eat. It just crunch, 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 crunch. The ribs all snap apart and it crushes right through and takes a 1,000-pound hunk of flesh, rotting
pulls it out.
lungs, heart, yeah, all that good stuff that the smaller sharks can't get to. See,
Right.
so if we had megalodon around still today, you would have, first, you need a breeding population of at least 500 animals. That's a known fact, right, by science. And the adults would be eating dead whales, which tend to float to the surface, which is where they would find them. See, we would see these sharks, but we don't. And these mega-sized great whites are so rare because of gigantism. It might be 1 in 1,000. You know, so few out
Right.
there. We don't see them, and they're not on the surface a lot because they don't have to be, because they're not eating dead stuff all the time.
Right. We have a question from Michelle who says, "Do you feel like the Jaws movie was made with some truth as far as the existence of them being possible, an existence? I'm assuming of megalodon." From Michelle Brandenburg, Psychic Paranormal Network.
Well, there's no megalodon in Jaws. The Jaws movie, the 50-year anniversary one, or
I think they mentioned the megalodon at one point, but that's only like I think got his name Shaw, whatever, the old guy.
Erwin Shaw. What was his
Quint.
name?
Quint. That's it. Not Shaw.
Uber.
There's another movie. Yeah.
Quit playing with yourself. You know?
Yeah. I am
Yeah,
the
speaking of that, I did, since we are talking about Jaws,
a little bit because we have about
yeah,
7 minutes left.
I'll make this quick though. Since Third Eye Live is so pioneering, we have this new feature, AI questions derived from the viewer's thoughts, and this question right there is, Max, which one of these characters would you like to swim with? You have Alex, Bow-Legged Women, or Herbie Robinson from Cleveland, and you have Ben Gardner down here.
None of those sound particularly promising. Ooh,
Herbie
Robinson, Rosen's mate. Went over to say hello, popped up and down like a carrot top. He'd been bitten in half below the waist. Yes, I remember that one. Could I be Max Hawthorne? Maybe wearing like shark chainmail instead and treading water. Oh, you'd sink after a while. My God.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't want to
But
not answer that young lady's question, huh?
Yeah, I'll never wear a life jacket again.
Yeah,
But,
never will wear a life jacket. You're
He's a
bobbing in
wild
the
man.
water.
You know, that's why you bring him on here to come up with this stuff, right?
Exactly. Mark's not shy. Mark's not shy.
So
We do some stuff
Megalodon
like this.
used to exist. The estimates now are it went extinct 3.6 million years ago. So does it exist anymore? It does not appear to. That's not that I'm not saying it's not possible, but I believe the evidence in terms of the tooth marks and the bite marks on the whales, which is, like I said, check out that video, Mega Shark or Megalodon. It's got a humpback whale on there with these bites on it, and you're going to see the images. They're crystal clear, video of it, etc. Something left yard-wide bites. And to give you an idea, Bruce the shark had jaws about 25 inches, I think, was the bite radius. Okay, so something that's 37 inches has got to be 1.5 times the size, which suggests a shark in the mid 30-foot range or something like that. See, so we have these bites. Something is biting whales and whale sharks, and it's not me, even though I get hungry.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive, and a lot of people. And I mean to interrupt you, Mark. A lot of people that are very familiar with the ocean fare were kind of like, what the hell's eating these things, or making that move. So go ahead, Mark. Sorry.
Okay. Well, since we're getting low on time, we can get into a lot of the influence of Steven Spielberg's movies on you, maybe at another time. But maybe you could give us just a Quick, just to exemplify your diversity of a horror writer, you also have Christmas songs
Hmm.
Ah,
and a connection to Leonard Skinner. So, can you explain how that fits into being a multimedia superstar?
I thought you were going to say multi-millionaire for a second. I was like, wait, what? Really?
really?
Um, so that's a loaded question. Okay, so the Christmas song, there's two that I think have bearing. One is called "A Tyrannosaurus for Christmas," which was done to go along with my book, children's book, "I Want a Tyrannosaurus for Christmas," and that song was my manager at the time used to manage Leonard Skinner. I didn't
Oh,
even play with the band. He was one of the lucky ones that wasn't on the killed.
on the plane.
Yeah, and but it did very well. It was the number two um, indie song in the world back then. This is a few years back, which was great. And it's about a young boy who's having a tough time at school, getting bullied in the book and stuff. And his friend is, and he ends up getting a baby Tyrannosaurus, which is wreaking havoc in the North Pole and chasing elves around and biting them on the posterior. And Santa's like beside himself. So I don't know why he decides that this young boy whose iguana died deserves a Tyrannosaurus for Christmas. And I question the logic. Santa and I are going to have a conversation. But and the dinosaur, his name is Tyran, as in Tyrannosaurus. Get it? Uh-huh.
Yep.
Well,
It's good.
anyway,
Good play on
and
words.
yeah, and it's just it's a very fun, cool book. And the dinosaur helps resolve the bullying issue and a lot of other stuff. And it's got a great song that goes with it. Then the sleigh, which was in negotiations for a movie at the time for optioning, that book, I mean song, I wrote called Laughter Rising, and that's kind of like a fun, spooky, creepy, kind of like a Nightmare Before Christmas type of song. Great guy from England, did the vocals, and it's just designed to be an outro type song, or post credits or credit song for the movie of the song. Sorry, the movie to go along with the screenplay.
Right.
So, but you when you do these things, you're like you got your hands in a lot of pies, so to speak. So,
100%. Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
it gets a little hectic.
it,
So
you
thank you,
know,
Mark.
yeah. Um,
That was a hell of a question. I'm like, wait, did I answer
Oh,
everything?
no, uh, the chat room has been very active all night. They've responded very well to your erudite answers, and that I think they should probably be made more aware of what you have done.
Mhm.
oh,
Thank you.
I mean, you're diverse, and and the diversity is great, and this is what makes better individual. Like, I wish you the best on all that you're doing, because I know how tough it is. I know it's tough in the publishing world. It's tough in um in the music field, and when you get those moments and the manager and I was just talking about the opportunity today. Um one of my friends who I'm born and raised in the Bronx, and one of my best friends there, he learned to play Can't You See from Toy Caldwell.
Mhm.
um, what a great guy to play. Um, he knows, he toured with the Outlaws. It's just certain things fall into place, and you've got to go with it. And then sometimes that you never know where that big thing is going to be, but you're putting out quality content, and I can't thank you enough for even being on the broadcast, and having to deal with Mark Eddy.
Listen, Mark is a wild man, and if I'm
Yes.
ever out in that neck of the woods, I'm taking him out to TGI Fridays, and we're gonna get drunk and disorderly, and
He
waitresses are
needs
gonna
it.
be like, "What is wrong with these two ASS, you know what's, etc."
He needs it wherever you are. I mean, if I was closer, but I'm in West Palm Beach at this point, so it's
Not a
different. But
bad
we do
thing.
have some we have people that do find megalodon choppers down here. You're
Uh-huh.
not supposed to pick them up.
Really? That's a
It's against the
first.
law.
Really?
Yeah, you're not supposed to touch them.
You get all kinds of mastodon teeth finds.
Hmm.
We have a bunch of weird things down here. It's Florida.
Really? I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I know certain countries they don't want things exported, things of that nature. Like
They're supposed to leave it where it lay. I don't know the full law, but one of my buddies was he was trying to explain it to me. It's for conservation purposes, and there's too much of people getting ripped off. They don't
Mhm.
they don't want that. But it's like in the UK, if you metal detect, you find some gold, you're required to call the government, and they'll get the historians out, and then maybe they'll give you a taste of it. That's if you
Taste it.
decide
What if you're digging in your backyard and you come across a gold nugget in a natural formation that weighs like 20 pounds? You're supposed to report that?
it
No.
depends on what you signed on your purchase of the home and who owns the rights to it. It
Really?
sounds crazy, but there are certain individuals that buy property, they divide it, and they still retain the mineral rights and anything they're part of that. Most people, I don't know if you watch South Park, but there's an episode where some
That's where I
guy's
get all
playing
my news.
the Steve Jobs role, and nobody reads the fine print. So
Mhm.
you have to read the fine print in your contracts. But my personal opinion is, if it's on your property and you're paying the tax, it's yours. None of anybody else's business. That's it.
That's right.
I'm
And when a phantom cat goes walking by on your property and you click the video and you film that bugger, then it's yours.
yours. Your cat, your kitty cat.
Oh, I
Um,
love cats. Mark has seen Mace and Olaf have been on many shows,
yeah,
right?
he told me they're ginormous.
You
I'm
want me to get
allergic
one?
to cats.
Yeah,
Um,
a lot of times you can see the tail
just
just going. It's like
Yeah.
Jaws, the
listen.
dorsal fin.
Yeah. It's like
he-
it happened to me on Red Velvet, not Red Velvet Media, Blog Talk Radio. I was on a show there, and yeah, all of a sudden the lady's interviewing me, and this big tail just popped up, like he said, like wait, like this, and then just started going across this like this in front of me, like this, and like like a flag. And she's like, "What is that?" And I was like, like,
it's
she's like, "Is that
Kronos
one of the
Rising.
cats?" And she's like, "Oh, we've got to have the cat on now." And everything. So I was
Yeah,
holding them and everything like that. But after a while, they get a little like,
yeah,
like put
they
me
don't want to
down.
be covered.
Yeah, they don't like being on there without being paid.
I had I had a bull terrier and a while ago, and then we went out. We got my kids for the holidays. Australian Labradoodle, who I like to call an asshole Labradoodle.
Hmm.
But he likes to be in your lap, and he will come in and he just wants to sit here, and I just can't hold him. He looks like a gund, looks like a teddy bear that's alive. Um, but yeah, it's great, and I appreciate you being on Third Eye Live. Where else can people catch you because we kind of ran out of time?
Well, if they're chasing me, good luck. But let's see. Obviously, on Amazon has all the books on there. Whether you want a lot of laughs and some horror from Memoirs of a Gym Rat, the
Right.
children's book, I Want a Tyrannosaurus for Christmas, is on there. The Sleigh is that horror thriller that everybody loved. It's a very creepy, scary. Uh, I don't want to say Stephen King-ish kind of book. Maybe more like a Dean, you know, kind of
Oh, I know
thing.
him. Yeah.
But
I remember him. Yeah, that was a while. Yeah.
yeah, but so there's that, and of course there's the Kronos Rising series, which I think is 7 books right now. And I did that cryptid research book. Um, Monsters and Marine Mysteries, which is where all the shark stuff is and information and all these. I mean, I got to interview guys that have been around since the 60s and 70s, including one of the two guys to see that 38-foot turtle. Well, he was with Gary LaMotta.
Oh,
He's still alive. Yeah, nice, very nice man. So good stuff.
ju-
And
yeah, just I appreciate you coming on, and just so you know, I'm pretty sure I got blocked or banned on Facebook, and I'm probably going to be in Facebook jail because I can see it right there on my screen. I got the
why?
big because they're assholes. I got to be honest.
Yeah,
I
Like,
posted a couple of things, and people will report it because they don't like the truth, and it's a bunch of BS. But whatever, we got YouTube,
well,
and
you can
eventually it'll
find
be
me
on
on.
Rumble.
I'm on Twitter if you want. It's under the Max Hawthorne, and on Facebook because there was so many Max Hawthornes out there a while back, like 100. I mean, it's
Yeah,
not.
that's weird.
Yeah, but it's real Max Hawthorne on there, and I think it's also real Max Hawthorne on Instagram, or it might be Twitter. It's one or the other. I can't.
You just have to, unfortunately, the way they want you to go these days is to verify with the check mark, and then that's how they know they're talking to the real person. I'm not giving them any more money than whatever they've made off of us to begin with. I hope your books get optioned because I think they would make wonderful movies,
Thank
and
you.
not with like decent statement like no domain. Like I do, like it's typical Jason movies, but I do hope they get that. It's perfect for optioning. Anybody in the Hollywood, go check them out. He could, we could always use extra cash as when things like that happen. But I thank you for being here, and I don't know who we have next week, but I'm going to this conference in a couple of weeks in Missouri, so you can meet me out there. I'm going to be presenting on Dogman. And I'm going to be presenting, saying some things. It's going to piss a lot of people off in the cryptid community. I don't care. This is my research. I'm always come from my perspective, and that's just who I have always been. But if like I end the show on songs that I've written, and that Bowden rap is mine. I put the music together, but didn't sing that. But this is one of mine, and if it was for you and you, Max, and everybody in chat, we wouldn't be doing it. So you guys have a blessed night, and Mark, thanks for not dying and just only getting stents.
yeah, if I don't die, I'll get a guest for next week.
Yeah, I'm not asking you to. We'll
Are
figure
you
it out.
wait, are you sick or something?
He had a heart attack on Thursday.
Wow.
Yeah.
Are you-
And look at how well I'm functioning
Right now.
with Sir Bryan 6
Well,
days later.
I had a Widowmaker 2.5 years ago. Rangers lost a perfect game they should have won. And
But I did the
100%
cartoon.
blocked.
I did the cartoon
Yeah.
for you, Max.
Yep.
You did the cartoon. I'm sorry.
I did the cartoon for you. Yeah, just to show how well I'm doing.
Yeah.
Well, listen, if there's anything you need, brother, if I can help, seriously, you let me know.
No,
I'm
no,
sending
I'm
one of
doing
those.
fine. See, I'm just sitting here right next to the little Neolithic axe that you sent to me.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's
And that's real, by the way.
yeah.
Yeah.
See, I have all this stuff. See, I really appreciate you. I have the little display, the little display thing. It's right here. It's on the little stand.
I thought he was like, when he mentioned it, I thought like, oh, this is Mark. And I'm like, oh my God. But I told him he's got to just breathe, and we're changing things. We're gonna make it's Mark Eddy's time now. So
I won't be sending any of those cougars your way. That's for sure.
no, he definitely needs a cougar. That's part of the we'll talk
Really?
about that backstage. Oh, he needs something like that. Yeah. We're not getting into that. I'm gonna get kicked off of YouTube, but you can talk about it later. Max, thank you. God bless you and the family. Mark, take your medicine. You're now an adult, and we'll get you a cougar from Florida to come up and help you out. But if it was for everybody, we wouldn't be here. Oh God, we're out. Bye.
You, it's always been you. God showed me you I have been searching decades for you. I found you, I lost you. My heart is broken without you. My soul aches for you. I need you, I want you. My days are filled with you. I've seen the future with you. My home is with you. I have felt the future with you. My nights are filled with you. Love is you. True love is you. My happiness is you. Every past life is with you. My dreams are filled with you. Life is meaningless without you. My future is with you. I will fight for you. I will defend you. I will give up my life for you. Whatever it takes for you. Nothing else matters but you. I love you. I love you. I love you. God showed me you. I have been searching decades for you. I found you, I lost you. My heart is broken without you. My soul aches for you. I need you, I want you. My days are filled with you. I have seen the future with you. My home is with you. I have felt the future with you. My nights are filled with you. Love is you, true love is you. Love is you, true love is you. My happiness is you. Every past life is with you. My dreams are filled with you. Life is meaningless without you. My future is with you. I will fight for you. I will defend you. I would give up my life for you. Whatever it takes for you. Nothing else matters but you. I love you. I love you. Life is meaningless without you. My future is with you.